After hearing the rumors that Rich Bisaccia was getting some buzz in Dallas, and then Tom Silverstein reported that there had been some grumblings around the league that Rich Bisaccia was potentially going to retire. He is being extended in Green Bay. Great work by his agent. Will stay on as the special teams coach and assistant head coach and becomes a game management advisor to Matt LaFleur. Now, as our friend Wendell Fajeda pointed out, when Rich Bisaccia was in charge in Las Vegas, they were one of the most conservative teams in the league in kick-go situations, in deciding to go on fourth down. When you're making a decision on fourth down, do I go for it or do I kick a field goal? It necessitates a conversation with your special teams coach anyway. So from that standpoint, it follows that you would want a special teams coach to help you with those game management decisions. The problem is Matt was already more conservative this last year with a kicker that they trust and they intend to bring back with Brandon McManus than they had been in previous years where they didn't trust the kicker with Andres Carlson, which was, by the way, a Rich Bisaccia decision. And I would be concerned that those conservative tendencies will continue. But so from that standpoint, from a workflow standpoint, it makes sense. Now, if he was already doing this in a sort of de facto role, that's problematic because this was probably the worst game management year the Packers ever had under Matt LaFleur. They do have Connor Lewis, who's assistant quarterbacks coach, former analytics guy, who helps them with some of the decision-making and the in-game stuff. They have to get the timeout thing figured out. They do not manage the clock well at the end of halves at all. And so if you're Matt LaFleur, is this something you can just sort of work through? You hope it is. But is extending Rich Bisaccia the best way to do that? And I've already made the case. I think that the best thing for the special teams, which was the worst graded special teams by Pro Football Focus, is to move on, to find a better coach, a better special teams coach. You want to have him as your bro, as your mascot, as your culture carrier, go ahead. They seem to like Rich in the building. LaFleur seems to trust him implicitly. And so if LaFleur thinks it helps, maybe there is some intrinsic value of like, if having Rich Bisaccia imbues him with some sort of confidence to make decisions and he can at least be decisive, I think that can be a net positive from last year. Is it going to get them to back in like 2021 and 2022 and 2023 when they were making much more aggressive decisions, much better decisions? The proof is going to be in the proverbial pudding here.